Today, I want to dive into another deal analyzing. Hey guys, it's Brad from probatehouseguy.com. As the name suggests, I actually specialize in the world of probate and inheritance properties. I actually have a really unique way that I get probate deals all across the country that's a little bit different than what most people are used to doing probate deals. I'm actually looking for partners to work with all across the country to work these leads that I get. So if you're interested in learning more about it and you're an experienced investor, let's have a conversation. Go to probatehouseguy.com to learn more. All right, so today I want to get into analyzing a deal. I've done another one of these videos. I'm going to do a few more of these. And these videos are mainly aimed at, let's call it newer wholesalers to kind of help you out in analyzing a deal. I'm an experienced investor. I've been doing this now, gosh, I'm getting close to, see here, like 8 years now I've been in this business. And I've done a lot of deals, hundreds of deals at this point, flips, wholesales, you name it, rentals, all the above. I've done flips, wholesales, rentals, creative financing, land development, you name it, I've run the gamut. So I'm going to get into analyzing a deal here. I just picked one that I found out of Investor Lift. And we're going to get into analyzing it a little bit here. So let's hop in here and take a look at it. So I'm going to share my screen here and we are going to go to, here's the deal, an Investor Lift. Okay. So this is a property in Kennesaw, Georgia. I live in Georgia, so I'm just analyzing Georgia deals. And it was listed in Investor Lift on November the 17th of 2023. And let me see if this deal has sold. I don't even see where it has sold yet. So let's jump over to Investor Lift. Here we go. They've done a price drop on it. First of all, right off the bat, ARV of 340 and they're asking 285. For those of you who maybe aren't experienced, nowadays, if you're flipping a property, you can immediately knock 10% right off the top for holding cost, carry cost, all the above. So $340,000 times 0.90 is $306,000. So basically, not including profit margin, that immediately at a $285,000 asking price, that leaves you $21,000 worth of rehab you can do just to break even on this deal. Assuming these numbers are right. Most of the time, these ARVs are wrong. These numbers are not right. But assuming that that's correct, if you put $21,000 in rehab into this property and you listed it for $340,000 and you paid this wholesaler $285,000, you would break even. Just break even. You wouldn't even make a profit. You would just break even at this number here. Okay. Probably why they haven't sold this property. It's been listed for a while now. So let's go run some comps here. I went ahead and put it in Zillow here. So we're going to run them in Zillow and I'm going to run them in my MLS. So 5818 Stonehaven Drive, Kennesaw, Georgia 30152. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. Looks like the Terminex truck is parked out front in the picture. Looks like a typical Kennesaw ranch. Where is this in Kennesaw? Let's look at the map here. Okay, so this is like off Mars Hill and Due West. I actually grew up over this way on this side of town. I grew up over down, if you take Hadaway Road down there, that's where I grew up. So I'm actually pretty familiar with this area over here. This is on the other side of Highway 41. So you got Ernest Barrett Parkway here, you got Aqueduct West Road, Burnt Hickory Road, all of the above. So this is on this side of Lost Mountain. I grew up right over here. All right, so let's see. All right, Due West Road. Okay, so know this area pretty well. Let's close this out. All right, let's go ahead and look at other stuff in the neighborhood on Zillow, first of all. So I want to look for, I've got my filters set on sold. Let me make sure I don't have any other criteria set in here. Sold, sold in the last 12 months. That's fine. And let's see here. I don't have any other criteria set. So let's look at other sales in the neighborhood. Like I mentioned in the other video, whenever you are running comps, you want to run comps in the immediate neighborhood. If at all possible, you do not want to leave the neighborhood if you don't have to. So we're going to look at Stonehaven here. So this is this whole neighborhood. All right, so we've got, where's the beginning of this neighborhood? Let's see, off due west, Teague Drive. So we got a 340 sale. That is a 1960s, 1970s brick ranch with a drive under garage, 3.2, 1,500 square feet, sold for $340,000. Let's go here. We've got another one on Stonehaven. This is a good comp. Okay, this is the one right here. So this one sold for $340,000. It is a, let's call that a Cape Cod, to say the least. You got to pay attention to the style of house for sure. You got to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. I would consider this Cape Cod to be comparable to this property. Remember, our subject property, let's go to the pictures here, is a siding, wood siding. Looks like it has the old LP siding. Like I mentioned in another video, you can see where the water has gotten in the joints and swelled them up here. So unfortunately, you're probably going to be replacing some pieces of siding. Looks like it's on a crawl space. It's got a 2-car garage. Does look like it has a newer architectural roof on it, which is good. We've got carpet inside. We've got some missing baseboards in the bathroom. We've got an original vanity. We've got, why are these pictures taken so high? Is this person like, oh, they're standing on the toilet. That's interesting. Never seen someone take a shot like that up on the toilet. Okay. So they're standing up high, or maybe this person is like ridiculously tall. I don't know. Or they're holding the camera over their head. Who knows? Pretty basic kind of house. A lot of dark colors. Siding probably needs a little bit of attention here and there. Probably needs an exterior paint job. The roof looks okay. Interior wise, it has the old dark 1980s dark colored trim. Just all the windows are closed. Very dark house. Let's jump into the kitchen. Looks like they've put some tile on the floor in the kitchen. Newer water heater there. Don't put too much time or effort or faith in the water heater. Like some people put that in there. I mean, a water heater to replace is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 depending on the size and whether it's gas or electric. So looks like it has the original oak cabinets in there. You know, this house is just lived in. I wouldn't call it in terrible condition. But bottom line, because it's got a newer roof and it's got, whoops, I'm jumping around here. I hit the wrong key, didn't I? Because it's got a newer roof and I can't, where, do we see the HVAC in the picture? Oh, there it is. HVAC serial number, it's going to go X103. So that is 2016. That's March of 2016. So we got newer HVAC unit. I don't see a picture of the air handler here, but typically most of the time people are replacing the air handler and the outside unit at the same time. So not to say that they doesn't always happen, but many times they're replaced at the exact same time. So garage, it's got one of those old wood garage doors. Those things like fall apart over time. It does have a 2-car garage. So bottom line is, just from my experience, if you were to just go in this house and do a cosmetic, like lipstick on a pig rehab, replace the flooring, paint the walls, paint all the trim, paint the walls. Probably you're going to be fixing some drywall repair here and there, doing some minor repairs, keeping the kitchen cabinets, just painting the kitchen cabinets, swapping out the countertops, putting granite in, swapping the appliances out, and just changing out light fixtures and plumbing fixtures and not really doing any major demo, changing anything out. You're going to spend, on a house of this size, you're going to spend $40,000 thereabouts. You might be able to do it for like 35 because you're not doing a roof, but you're going to spend 40 grand to rehab a house like this. Remember when I talked about earlier that if you spent 21 grand at their asking price, you're just going to break even. You're not even going to make a profit. That only allowed you $21,000 in rehab. I'm telling you right now, this house is going to cost $40,000 to rehab all day long just for a cosmetic rehab. But one thing you want to look at when rehabs is you want to look at the neighborhood. You want to understand what the other houses in the neighborhood are doing. Unfortunately, this happened recently. Zillow doesn't retain the old photos of houses. They don't keep the old photos. So this is another one on Stonehaven. So this is another good comp. This is what I would consider a Cape Cod style house. You could use this as a comp because ours is a ranch. This one has a drive under garage more than likely. It almost looks like it has it's like a deck on the side there. That's interesting. This one sold for $318,000. The other one sold for $340,000. That one sold in February 2023. And when did this one? That one just sold in October. So that's a good comparable because in October the interest rates were slowing down at that point, just starting to slow down. And that's a pretty indicative. But if you look at this picture, this house does have newer windows. You can tell there's no. You can tell by the windows, just looking at them, these are newer windows and almost looks like this house has been re-sided. So let's go try to find this one on the MLS and see if we can, I'll just do 5806 Stonehaven here. So let me go to our MLS system, which is FMLS. Why is this like frozen up? Okay, here we go. So let me move this little guy out of the way here. Residential. And let's see, 5806 Stonehaven Drive. Okay, 5806 Stonehaven Drive. Kennesaw, Georgia. Okay, it's going to pop up. We're going to choose closed. We'll do 180 to begin with. We're going to do pending and active under contract. Okay, let's look at the results. This is going to be stuff all within a very tight radius of our subject property. One thing I like to do is if it is in a subdivision, I usually pull this out just to capture this whole subdivision here. And then we're going to jump back over to the results here. And you can see here, Stonehaven is in Red Rock Hills. We're going to go back to our criteria and we're going to put in Red Rock Hills. And then I'm going to put Red Rock Hill with a star. That's going to, in case someone put Red Rock Hill or Red Rock Hills, it's going to capture anything. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sales in Red Rock Hills. So let's look at this one. 432 Teague Drive. So that is what one might around here call a contemporary house. Drive under, definitely looks like a fixer-upper. It almost looks like it was a rental property or something. Kind of random piecemeal upgrades. Okay condition, currently listed at $279,900. It's been active now 12 days on the market. So 12 days on market. Let's look at some of these other ones. Look at this other one on Teague Drive that sold for $340,000. That was the one we looked at earlier. So that is a brick ranch with a drive under garage, 2-car garage. Ooh, this one's been updated nicely. It's been rehabbed inside. They opened up, you can see where they opened up the wall here into the living room. They've got, looks like vinyl plank floors, painted the fireplace, got rid of all the dark trim, looks like new cabinets in the kitchen, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. They opened up the kitchen, opened up the floor plan. Let's see here. Yeah, this is all, so this is nicely done. Did some wainscoting in the hallway here, some shiplap wainscoting in the hallway here. Whoever did this did a nice job. This looks very nice. I like the floors, other than the white quarter round. At least they didn't do the. This is just a pet peeve of mine when you have painted baseboards but stained quarter round with a stained floor. I hate that. That's obviously just personal preference, but I hate it because to me the quarter round is part of the baseboard profile, not part of the floor. So the quarter round should match the baseboards, not the floor. But some people like it to match the floor. In this case, they put some quarter round down and probably never got around to painting it. You can see in the rest of the house they did paint it, but it looks like they've replaced all the flooring in this house. It's got LVP everywhere. A combo bath with laundry, and they've got a new vanity in there. They've got new mirrors. They've got a little patio with the $1.99 Home Depot special pavers. I've got some of those at my house. When I built my house, I built I've got a second driveway that goes down to my basement, and I put gravel down there. And on the door going outside, the building inspector to pass final inspection made me go put some pavers down instead of stepping out onto the gravel. He made me put pavers down on a 3 foot by 3 foot area for a pad coming out of the door. And I was like, well, I don't want a concrete pad there because I'm actually going to pour concrete down here eventually and do the whole thing. But he didn't care. So anyways, I put some of these $1.99 Home Depot pavers here, these gray ones. They've got a little sunroom, covered screen and porch on the back. I mean, this house is great. Like, this is great. Open backyard and all of the above. So this is a nice house. So I would consider this like a good ARV comp. Like if you were to rehab a comp, this is a good rehabbed comp, right? So let's jump back here. Let's look at some other ones. Here's this other one on Stonehaven, sold for $339. This was the one we were talking about. There's only one photo on the MLS. Let's read the description. Coming soon, craftsman style home, must see, totally renovated. So that's totally renovated. Everything's new. See, it does new siding, new windows, HVAC. So someone totally renovated it. So this is a rehabbed comp. This is, if you went in and did a full rehab, you're going to get $339. Okay, so we've got a 340. Oh, we got a 339. Let's look at this 305. See what this looks like. This is a ranch. Looks like it's also been rehabbed, updated. Looks like it has the original cabinets. They just painted them. They did a backsplash, granite, did some black appliances. Vinyl plank floors, painted the walls, painted the trim, new vanities. That's the original tile, more than likely, in the shower. They may have glazed it all white. I do that in some of my projects. I'll just reglaze them white. Original vanity, but put a granite top in it. And let's see here. They've got a little screen and porch on the back. Looks like they replaced some deck boards. This deck probably needs to be replaced, but they just sort of tried to sell it with the deck as is, which they did sell it with the deck as is. Sometimes you can do that depending on the market and the comps. Sometimes you can just sell it kind of as is. It looks like this garage was added. These are, engineered trusses up here. Someone probably added this later on, or this carport, I should say, not garage. So anyways, that one sold for $305. That's interesting. It was 21 days on market. Oh, proposed closing date 12/8. So it literally just closed like Friday. So this is a recent comp, just closed on Friday. Jane Wicks, I know her. I went to school with her daughter. That's funny. Okay, so let's see here. Teague Drive. Okay. I'm just going to go back a little bit further on criteria here just to see if we get anything else. We're going to go back 365 days. Oh, we do get some more comps in the neighborhood. Okay. So comps in the neighborhood are running the gamut of as high as 385, as low as 305. So we got 305, we got 310, we got 318. Let's look at this 385. See what this is all about. Wow. Okay. That one's nice. Like, wow, somebody spent some money on this place. That looks great. I would say this might be a little over the top for this neighborhood, but totally updated. Wow, man, they went all out on this place. Look at this. I mean, even the floors, you got the pickled white tongue and groove ceiling. That's super cool. Man. That is, yeah. Wow. This is a great house. Look at all this. I mean, they everything's redone. Like, they redid everything. But they did have the original windows there. Looks like the original, no. Those aren't the, these have been replaced. These are sash pack replacements. Kids room, man, little shed in the back. Little garden shed with an office. Ooh, wow, this is really, really nice. Wow, they went all out. Well, that's why this sold for $385. It's got the detached shed. It's got a really over-the-top rehab. Everything's new. 4 days on market, conventional. Town Club Realty. Okay, a friend of mine owns Town Club Realty. Actually, the owner of Town Club is a flipper himself. Um, okay. Wow, this is nice. So yes, this is in Harrison High School District. I went to my high school. We were arch rivals of Harrison High School. They were on the other side of Dallas Highway from us, so we had that rivalry going on. All right, so 310, 339, 320. Let's look at this 320. No pictures available. Let's look at the description. Charming split level. Okay. All right, so needless to say, I think their 340 ARV is pretty accurate for this house. This is a 4.2, but let's look at this. Let's go back and look at the pictures again. Obviously, this house needs a little updating. It does have the original windows here. These are the black aluminum windows, which were very common in Kennesaw in the 1980s. I think this place was built in the 80s. Very, very common in this area in the 1980s. And then some kind of slab. It's interesting that they did a slab in the crawl space. I wonder why they did a slab in the crawl space. That's quite interesting there. So, but anyways, like to get to the caliber of those other houses, you're going to have to spend more than 40. But I would say that based on this house, if you just did a lipstick on a pig, rehab spent $40,000, they're about maybe 35 or 40. I don't know that you could get 340 for this house, but you could definitely get probably 325. So let's do the math on this. Let's jump over to the calculator. So 325, clicking on weird stuff. $325,000. 325 times 0.90. Why am I doing 0.90? Okay. First of all, this is my math. You may have to use different math than me. Nowadays, especially in this price point, you're probably going to be contributing closing costs to the buyer. Let's jump back to the MLS and let's look at that here. So we're going to jump back to the MLS and we're going to look at all the sales and we're going to see how much was contributed in closing costs on the sale. 0 paid closing costs. Where's that recent one? Let's jump down to the bottom. 0 closing costs, 105%. Okay. Let's look at this one. Other one on Stonehaven. 0 closing costs. Okay. Let's look at this one. They paid $9,000 in closing costs on that one. They paid $9,000 in closing costs. Let's look at this one. They paid $400 in closing costs. Okay. So the market has also changed a little bit since these last listings, and you're probably going to have to contribute some closing costs. So you've got, let's call it 2 to 3% in giving buyers some closing cost contributions. You'd have 3% to a buyer's agent right off the top. If you're not an agent, you've got 3%. So you're basically paying 6%. Yeah, you could do a flat fee listing, blah, 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 blah. In this market we're in, I'm not sure if that's the right idea to do a flat fee listing. Because it definitely is a different market than we were in a year or two ago. So you got 3. So let's say you're not an agent. That's 6%. And then you're contributing some closing costs to your buyer, which is probably going to be somewhere between 2 to 3%. So let's say you're anywhere from 8 to 9% right off the top. And then if you're borrowing money on this from a hard money lender, private money lender at the rates that we're paying right now, you're going to have to factor in 4 to 5% right off the top, which is why I use 0.90 as my number. If you are not an agent, I would probably use like 0.88 or 0.89. So let's go with 0.90. So that gives us 292. And then we're going to spend 40,000 in rehab. So we're at 252 just to break even. This doesn't include profit margin. And then on a project of this size, if it's selling for $300,000, my bare minimum on a flip, this is just my bare minimum. You can do whatever you want. I wouldn't want to make less than $35,000 on this deal as a minimum net profit. So we're going to take off 35, which would put my offer to buy this house at somewhere around $217,000. So let's jump back to the deal in that. So 285 versus 217. Well, we're pretty far off there, aren't we? Yeah. So that's why this deal hasn't sold. It's overpriced. Now, let me tell you what this investor could have done with this deal. I bet if you cleaned this house out, and this is something that we do quite frequently, if it's in a desirable area, which this is a desirable area, that you can look and see that the days on market are very low on all the listings. This is a desirable area. If you sold this house as is without rehabbing it, just went in and cleaned it out, did a deep cleaning on it, cleaned the carpets, just cleaned the house out, cleaned up the yard, got the sticks off the roof, whatever, I bet you could list this house. Remember, we saw this other as-is listing down the street for, let's see here, $279. That one's still active. How long has it been on the market? 12 days. Yeah, I'd say I would list this house, the one we're looking at, as is for probably $275. So $275 as is. So if I did $275 as is, and I got a buyer that wants to buy just a live-in fixer-upper, so $275 times 0.90, and literally we're cleaning it out, just clean it up. We're probably gonna spend $3,000 on that, right? So -3 and minus a quick 35. Well, actually, you probably do 30 on this just as a quick one. You're still at the same price, 214.5, right? And remember, this person is asking a wholesale deal of 285. And remember, if you're looking for deals, just because a wholesaler is asking a certain price doesn't mean that that's what they'll actually take. I've bought many deals off of wholesalers where I offered them way less than what they were asking, and they took the deal. So in this case, we're pretty far off on the numbers, right? We're $70,000 off on price here. So I doubt they're going to go that low, but you could make the offer on it. So that's the deal here. That's our deal analyzer of the day. And, at the end of the day, the reason your deal is not selling is probably because it's not a good deal. Good deals sell. Good deals sell fast. Even in this market we're in, if you've got a good deal, it will sell. And make sure you're looking at this through different angles. So I hope this helps somebody out here today. Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Brad from probatehouseguy.com. If you're interested in doing more probate deals, I'm only right now working with other investors who have experience in probate deals already. If you're looking at getting more deals, please reach out to me. Go to probatehouseguy.com and let's talk about how we can work together. So thanks again for checking the video. We'll talk to you later.